This is Next Steps for Seniors with your host, Wendy Jones. Each week, Wendy brings resources and information to help guide you through those next steps with elderly parents and loved ones. If you have questions or topic suggestions, you can call us at 248-651-5010.
Hello and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors Conversations on Aging. I'm your host, Wendy Jones, and as you all know, I love giving information. Knowledge is power, right? And as we age, things start to happen in our lives, and some we're planning for and some we're not. So our topic today is when to start long-term care planning. And there's no better way to have this topic than with Brooke Acre, who is an independent financial advisor. She's got over 20 years experience. And believe it or not, she went to Eastern Michigan University. And so did I. Great school. Good things come from Eastern. Hi, Brooke. How are you today?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
I'm excited you're here. So, Brooke, you do a lot of planning, especially long-term care planning as a financial advisor. And you've got a lot of credentials behind your name, more than just Eastern, like I only just have Eastern, but you also are an NFLPA financial advisor and a certified financial planner, along with a certified long-term care planner, correct?
Yes, I am. A lot of all those letters, but really, the biggest thing is that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I love helping people.
Amen. You really do. And Brooke and I met for coffee, a couple months ago, and just had the best time sitting outside of Starbucks. And I'm like, I need you on the radio. This information is way too good. So that's why she's here today. And we're so grateful to have you. Obviously, you got involved in long-term care planning for a reason. Tell me about that.
Yes. So as you had mentioned, I've been working with clients for 20 plus years, planning for retirement, for college, for all of those things that are in the future for them. And one of the things that nobody wants to ever talk about is long-term care planning.
Right? Nobody wants to talk about it.
No, because they think if they don't think it, it won't happen to them. And so one of the things that we, learned as we start to chat with people is how can we plan that if your family or loved one has a long-term care event, how can we make sure that that doesn't cripple your finances, cripple your lifestyle, cripple the relationships that you have, because it really impacts people. And I watched my mom take care of my grandfather who lived to be 99 in his own house, and I saw the impact that it took on her life, the toll, worry, all of that stuff, plus the financial resources. And I just wanted to make sure that the people that really need long-term care have a plan and they know what that plan is.
Okay, first, you have some good genes in your body. 99 years old?
Yes.
Your grandfather?
My grandfather lived to be 99 and stayed at home until the day he died.
Okay, how many people know someone that's 99? Seriously, not many.
I know, and my great uncle just passed away a year ago at 101.
Holy cow.
I know.
Okay, well, no wonder you're like, I need to do some planning.
Right. We all need that plan. I just tease and say my mom better not live to be that long. No, I'm just kidding. I love my mom very, very much, and I want her to live a long, long life, but I tease her all the time. So
yeah, because as a young child, you were watching this,
yes.
Which, bless her, first of all. That's incredible. But yeah, because you want to do something about the problem.
Yes. And really, with my mom, she's healthy and she's in her 70s, but we moved her in with us at a young age just because I wanted her to be with us, so she didn't have to eat meals alone. And really, so she always teases and says her long-term care plan is me. So,
okay. So now you guys all know why I love Brooke so much. So how do you help people? Explain how you can help them.
Yes. So one of the big things is sitting down and really first learning about what does your life look like and what promises have you made to yourselves and to your loved ones. Because when a long-term care event happens, what we tend to see is people get into crisis mode. Nobody knows who's going to give the care. They don't know where the care is going to be held at, whether it's at home or a facility, or who's going to pay for it. And so it's a lot easier to start having those tough, hard conversations now of who do you want to be in charge of your care? How do you want to pay for that care? Where do you want that care to be? So that, God forbid, something does happen, we have a plan and we're not in crisis mode. And so we sit down, we educate our clients, we then create whatever is the best plan for you answering those tough questions. And then after that, you can live comfortably, enjoy your life, and not have to worry. And so if something ever does happen, we're prepared.
Well, and I just want everyone to know 70% of people need some kind of care as they age. And everyone thinks care is covered by insurance, meaning Medicare. And that's not the case.
Correct. So, there is informal care, there's at-home health care, adult daycare. You can look at assisted living, nursing homes. There's so many different options, as you know, but we want to make sure that if A happens, we're ready to go to B, C, and D, and we have that plan in place.
It's so important. And honestly, people don't want to talk about it, just like you said in the beginning, because they don't think it's going to happen. If they don't talk about it, it just isn't going to happen to me.
Correct.
And that's the complete opposite.
And what I do notice is women are really more worried about it than men, because men tend to think like their wives will outlive them.
Oh, and they'll take care of them.
And they'll take care of them.
How about that?
And so really, it's when I sit down with a couple, most of the time the men are saying, we're okay financially. We can pay for it out of pocket. We have money. I'm not worried. Where the wife usually looks at me and says, I am worried. Please help.
Okay, you have such a great point. Honestly, women are nurturers just by trade, right? We just all kind of nurture and love and care. And we did it with our children and we do it with our husbands. And as they age, of course, we're going to take care of them. And then your mom, there you go, took care of her dad.
Right.
So we're not just our husbands, right? But our fathers and mothers too. But at the end of the day, who is going to take care of us?
Correct. And, I think that all women want to know that they're not going to be a burden on their children financially, physically, emotionally. And I, see that even with my mom. I mean, she lives with us and she's always saying, I don't want to be a burden to you. And I'm like, Mom, you're not. Like, you're healthy. You're out, doing your errands and your day-to-day living. But I just don't want you to have to be alone, eating meals alone, going to bed in an empty house. And I think that loneliness also really impacts people. And so, making sure that you have the right people around you and the right quality of life.
Well, and women live longer than men. This is a proven fact. So we need to plan.
Correct.
And that's why you're here. And I love your passion. I love your mission. I think it's fantastic. I want to get into a little more detail about what, how people should get a hold of you and a good time to start thinking about this. I mean, obviously start yesterday.
Correct. So, I get a lot of times like, when should I start thinking about long-term care planning? And I always say, if you're talking about it or thinking about it, now is the time. And clients will say to me, am I too young? Am I too old? And again, there's no perfect age. And so if you're thinking about it, I really think it's time to create that plan and making sure that you're feeling that you're in control of those decisions.
And you have peace. You need peace about it.
Yes.
Don't be fearful. And like, what am I going to do? The unknown really scares people.
It does scare people. And I think having that plan and talking about it and, as I said, figuring out how you're paying for it, where the care is going to be taking place, who's going to be in charge of your care. That's a big thing. Because a lot of times I see kids start fighting when, why is this kid in charge? I want to be in charge. This kid's, in California and this kid's in Florida and I'm the one here handling it all. And so, we really want to make sure that you have that person and that they know that they're going to be the one helping you with that care.
So I'll be honest, this is so real to me because I can't even tell you how many people call the office and they're like, hi, I'm calling about my mom. Here's all the information. Oh, but I'm not the power of attorney. It's my brother and he's in California. And right. I'm like, what, why are you not, you know what I mean? So
yes.
This is a good thing to talk about because the reality is who is going to be there when the rubber hits the road?
Correct. And making those decisions. And you want the person that knows what you want, what your wishes are.
Yeah, we're supposed to do what they want, not what we want. How about that?
Right. Which, is easier said than done, right? But it's hard. I mean, I think at the end of the day, especially families with multiple kids, you don't want your kids fighting over the last, years of your life. You want your family to still be on the same page and the same page with you and making good, solid financial and, physical decisions for you.
And today, in 2025, I just want you to know the average assisted living is about $6,500 a month.
Yes.
Now, that includes 3 meals a day, all of your care, all of that. And there's some as low as 4 and some as high as 10,000 a month, but that's a lot of money.
Yes.
And if you don't have a plan, like Brooke said, you're going to be in some serious trouble, because the reality is, who is going to take care of you? So what I'd love to do, share your number really quick with our listeners.
Yes.
How do we get a hold of you?
So we have a great resource on our website, which is myltc123.com, where you can
Love
learn
the name, by the way. Hold on. LTC123 is fantastic.
So my, M-Y, like is it being yours, long-term care plan 123. So my LTC123. And you can also reach us at 586-737-2131, and we'll be there to help you and help you create that plan.
And so tell us what's on your website that they'll be seeing.
So there's a lot of great educational videos. There's a great way that you can get some more information. We have questions and answers of people that have testimonials. It's just a great, great resource for you to use and learn a lot.
Well, asking questions, right? Having a family meeting and saying, okay, this is what we're doing today, everybody. We're going to talk about my plan as I age.
Yes. And so that's what we want to do, is we want to really have those conversations and start those conversations.
We'll be back in just a moment to give a little more detail about that plan. Thanks for tuning in to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging.
This Christmas, give more than just a gift. Give encouragement, inspiration, and joy. In the Crosswalk Holiday Gift Guide, you'll discover a curated collection of meaningful books and devotionals that celebrate faith, family, and the real reason for the season. This Christmas, we invite you to share comfort, quiet, or excitement with each person on your gift list. From beautifully illustrated Bibles and devotionals to novels and picture books, this guide holds the perfect book for every reader, including yourself. So stuff those stories into stockings, wrap collections with care, tuck a book or two into your own nightstand, and join us in celebrating the wonder of reading this Christmas. Explore the Crosswalk Holiday Gift Guide and find something special for everyone on your list. Visit crosswalk.com/gift guide today.
Hello and welcome to Next Steps for Seniors. We are here today, and I'm so excited to have Brooke Acre with us, because she's knowledgeable about long-term care planning. And our topic is when to start long-term care planning. And not every financial advisor knows long-term care like Brooke does. And I just want to reiterate that. Some people are good at, buying and selling stocks and bonds and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, when you're really planning for the future as far as long-term care planning, there's a separate certification you have, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so it's important to have the knowledge base and the experience. You don't want someone who just started long-term care planning to work with you. You want someone like Brooke. Exactly. Okay, and I'm going to give her number one more time. So grab your pen and paper. It is 586-737-2131. Okay, we're going to get in a little bit more detail now. So tell us how you actually pay for this long-term care planning.
Yeah, so people that don't have a plan, theirs is just to pay out of pocket and to drain their life savings. And so that's what we want to avoid. We want to make sure that we are planning so that both spouses can live comfortably throughout their life. And one of the things that, long-term care plans used to be was you would pay a monthly premium, just like you do for your car insurance or homeowner's insurance. And you're hoping that, if you have a long-term care event, that you have that insurance in place. And what we see happen is that the cost of the insurance goes up every year as you age.
And wait, let me add, I just learned this. Big years like 80,
yes,
90, that even goes up more.
Correct.
Okay.
And so people take these plans out and they pay for years, and then all of a sudden they're 80, 85, they lose a spouse, their income's cut, and they're paying these extremely expensive.
And they can't afford it anymore.
Premiums. They can't. So what do? They cancel it right at the time that they need it.
The most.
And so what we see happen is these people cancel these plans, and then they have a long-term care event. So they've paid for 10, 15, 20, 30 years on this long-term care policy that now they canceled right at the time they need it.
I mean,
it's so sad.
It literally happens all the time.
So,
it does. And you're going to tell us how to change that.
Correct. So there's another way that we spend a lot of our time planning, and it's a great plan because you can take some money that you have earmarked for retirement, qualified dollars, and you're able to move that money into a long-term care plan. And that plan will cover not only yourself, but your spouse. And what I love about this is because it's qualified money, it's actually covering both spouses, which is really, really awesome. And hopefully that neither of you will need to ever use this long-term care. And so if you don't, it goes to your heirs. It's a death benefit to your family and your loved ones.
It's a win-win.
Correct.
Like, why would we not do this?
Correct. Also, there are some cash out options. I mean, every plan's a little bit different for each client, but
you know all of this, and they
Correct.
can call you, and it's so important because you've been doing this for a long time.
Correct. And the other thing that's really important is, what if both spouses are on claim at the same time? So I've had clients that have been in car accidents that are both on claim at the same time. And this will cover both spouses at the same time. So there's a lot of great things that people don't really think about and see. And so we want to make sure that when we're creating this plan, we're finding out what is, again, those promises that you've made, what does your future look like, and we're creating that plan that fits best for you.
This is so important. I can't even tell you, Brooke, how many people have, placed their mom or dad into like a memory care, and they're paying $8,000 or $9,000 a month out of the assets that their parents have made their whole lives, and they're fortunate to have it. But they look at me right away and they're like, what do I do so this doesn't happen to me?
Yes. And that's usually who we get the most calls from are, I say, adult children. That's parents have had a long-term care event and they watch how fast that they just spend money.
All the money they worked their entire lives for is gone in 2 years.
Yes. And it's sad. And so, as I said, the way that the old planning is you paid a premium every month, and then some people canceled those. But this is, one time we set the plan up, we fund the plan, and you don't have to ever worry about it or think about it. And again, it's not a use it or lose it for the money. So again, if you have that long-term care event, the money's there for both of you. If you don't, which is what we hope, that you pass away,
Right.
peacefully in your sleep at 101, like my great uncle.
Right.
But that money will then go to your kids, which is really where you wanted the money to go to anyways. You're leaving that legacy. And so for me,
and is it tax-free too?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
well, bonus.
So, there's a lot of, like I said, great things that we
Okay.
can do. And then last but not least is that, if you have an emergency or, you wanted to cash it out, you always have that option. So, and as I tell clients, this is money that you will never spend, that you are saving for your future. Why not take a little piece of that and give yourself that peace of mind for, God forbid, a long-term care event occurs in your life. And so, I tell people that when they say, well, I can't afford this or I don't have any extra money, there's a lot of planning opportunities that we can do.
Yeah, and start young, right?
Yeah, and just talk through what you have, because not every situation is the same. And so, every single time we sit down, it's not the same thing. It's something different for each family.
So you had a story that you wanted to share with us.
Yeah. So I actually had a client couple that they were clients of mine for years, and they had 2 sons, and the husband passed away, unfortunately, at a young age. And the wife inherited an annuity that he had taken out from years and years ago. And we ended up using that money when we sat down, and I said, I think you really should look at a long-term care plan. Only because the fact of you have 2 sons that are not married, and you don't know who your daughter-in-laws are.
Well, yeah, and now you're by yourself.
Correct. And so we created this long-term care plan for her, figured it out, left it. She enjoyed her life. Her sons got married. They had grandkids. She was living happily ever after. She ended up getting a tumor in her body, and they ended up having to do surgery. And she was paralyzed from the waist down.
No.
Yes. And so she was still had all of her cognitive thoughts and everything, but she couldn't use anything. She was in a wheelchair. She couldn't get herself in and out of bed, the restroom, any of that. And so the long-term care plan went into effect.
I mean, those kids and the grandkids, their lives would have changed forever.
So she was able to get 24-hour care in her home. And all of this was paid for by her plan.
Oh my gosh. I mean, really, honestly, priceless.
It is. It's priceless. And it's funny because when we sit down and have these tough conversations at the beginning of creating this plan, people, like, as I said, don't want to talk about it. But in this situation, she had the plan. She had the money. She was able to do all of the things that she wanted to do. She was able to travel with her kids and grandkids, still go to games and do all of that.
Because the caregiver could bring her everywhere.
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you for sharing that.
So,
honestly.
As I said, it's not conversations people want to have, but it's conversations we need to have so that we are prepared. And we had her plan in place, and it really worked out well for her.
Well, and there's a lot of people actually that don't have children. And those are the people, too, that we also are talking to. Because if you don't have that, I mean, your mom, for heaven's sake, took care of an uncle and her dad. But if you don't have someone like that in your family, it's important to have a plan.
Yes. And, as I said, in this situation, we had a plan. And so it was great. I do work with a lot of clients that don't have plans. And they have children, as we said, in different states. They have who's in charge of the care. Then there's fighting. And we want to make sure that one kid says, well, I don't want mom to have this care because it's too expensive, because sometimes they want the inheritance. And so they don't really care where the mom or dad goes, unfortunately.
I've seen it too, unfortunately. Yes.
And so we want to make sure that, you are dictating the type of care and which child or which friend or whoever is going to be in charge of your care. And so even just documenting that is just so simple and gives people such peace of mind. And that's really, at the end of the day, what my goal is I want people to have peace of mind. I want people to be able to live life, enjoy life, do the things that they want to do, and not have to worry about money, about the future, about long-term care. I just, at the end of the day, want people to make memories, enjoy experiences, and enjoy what they're doing.
The reality is, Brooke, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You love people. You care about people. You have longevity in your own life. You watched as a young child people being cared for and came up with this LTC 123, which I think is fantastic, and how you can do it to help people that works for everybody.
Correct. And I want to make sure, like, as I said, you're owning this plan. So, that's why when we created this, it's my LTC 123. So, we want it's your plan. It's not Brooke's plan, Wendy's plan.
Right.
It's your plan. What is important to you at the end of the day? And we want to make sure we articulate that, we create that plan, and you're comfortable.
And Brooke's number again is 586-737-2131. I can't thank you enough, honestly. It gives me peace of mind knowing that I have you.
Good. Well, I'm excited.
So thank you for what you do every day, Brooke. Thank you. And people can come right to your office, or do you do it online, your meetings?
So we help people all across the country. We can do Zoom meetings, conference calls, or in person.
Okay. All across the country. So you don't have to be in Michigan. And that's a huge bonus too.
Yes.
All right. You're listening to Next Steps for Seniors, Conversations on Aging. Think about the future and make a plan.
Need a daily spark of hope and direction? Let the Daily Bible app from Salem Media be that spark. This free Android app delivers an uplifting verse each morning, plus reading plans, devotions, and trusted podcasts from leaders like Joyce Meyer and Rick Warren. Prefer to listen instead? The Daily Bible app reads verses, reading plans, and chapters aloud, handy for the headphones moment of your day. Choose from versions like ESV, NIV, KJV, and more, and bookmark favorites to revisit later. Share inspiring messages with loved ones right from the app. Feel God's presence in every notification. Search for Daily Bible app on Google Play and begin your day with hope, purpose, and peace.